So my name's Steve. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Wirewax, and Wirewax is an interactive video technology. First and foremost, it's a really powerful tool. It's a DIY tool for you to create interactive videos yourself. You can go to wirewax.com right now, upload your own video, and make it interactive. It's all powered by really clever stuff like machine learning and artificial intelligence, so it's got things like face detection, face recognition. It's used by about 30,000 users all around the world to create those experiences. And our company is also a multi-award-winning professional services business where we worked with about 750 brands over the last 3 or 4 years to actually help them create award-winning masterpieces around interactive video. And I stood on this stage last year, same sofas, guys, what's going on? Come on. To talk about how shoppable video, that we'd reinvented shoppable video, and we turned this into a really powerful tool that allows people to make content shoppable and allow people to make lots of returns from that content. And we said that if you were a brand that was selling products, you were crazy not to be adopting this type of medium. Since then, Forrester have done an amazing study to talk about how shoppable video is changing the world. And also, Demand Metrics said at the end of last year that 1 in 3 brands were going to go interactive in 2018. Magna Global invested in research that said that there was a wealth of stats that validated our reason behind doing shoppable video as well. Things like consumer attention prolonged by 47% with interactive video. Drives 9 times higher impact on purchase intent. Whether consumers interact or not, interactive videos are more cost efficient with investment going 52% further. And I'd like to think that that was all as a result of my earth-shattering talk this time last year, but it's actually a simple, natural trend in the adoption of interactive video. And we've already seen the first half of this year unparalleled growth with interactive video. Brands such as Ted Baker and Bloomingdale's and even Hugo Boss seeing repeated success with the technology. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat all said that interactive and shoppable content was the future of the medium. But I'm not here today to tell you about how powerful interactive video is in short form on the web. No, I'm here to tell you about, well, interactive video is obviously becoming the norm, as the words of Adweek, and Wirewax is already powering about 90% of the world's interactive videos in the web environment. So yeah, I'm here today to talk to you about how the future is in TV and film, and how interactive and democratized and lucrative content is now the future. And this powerful interface, this interactive layer that we've put over the top of the video, what can that do? What can that help you achieve? And as brands and advertisers, I'm here to tell you how you can monetize on this experience. But just winding right back, this is the first recorded moving image, the horse in motion in 1878. It was designed to prove that all 4 legs of a horse are off the ground when it's galloping, and it was actually created by this guy, Edward Muybridge, British photographer. But this was the first ever movie. This was Fred Ott's Sneeze, some 6 years later, and it was created by controversial invention thief, our good friend Thomas Edison. And not many people know, but he was actually one of the founding fathers of cinema. He created the first Frankenstein movie and also The Great Train Robbery. And audiences went bananas for this stuff. They loved it. And then there was suddenly this great rush to create new technologies to enhance the experience. And the first thing, obviously, was creating sound. Then, obviously, as we know, from black and white to color. Things like CinemaScope and stereophonic sound. And these were all designed in the 1950s, actually, to combat the growing threat from TV. There's Lizzie Beans. She's not looking too happy with 3D. We've all been there. But this is all designed to combat that growing threat. Leap forward to today, and you've got many ways in which that hunger for content can be satisfied. You know, that hunger has turned into greed, into glutton. We can consume content wherever we like, whenever we like, and it's completely filling our days from morning to night. The technology has come on so far that consuming content now is no longer confined to the theater, to the TV, or even the home. I can watch anything I like, anywhere I like, at any time. And those advances in technology were all about the theater trying to compete with TV, and now it's time for TV to compete with itself. And that transition from a lean-back, passive viewing experience into a lean-forward, interactive one is just as big a leap as the transition from still photography to moving image that Thomas Edison and Edward Muybridge developed 100 years ago. So what's the answer? Well, the answer is, of course, Wirewax. Whoa! was a terrible transition. I'll never do that again. But it's interactive video technology powered by machine learning, and that means things like face detection and recognition. It means object recognition and motion tracking amongst a whole bunch of other machine learning and artificial intelligence tools that are running in the background. But what does it mean? It means that our machines see this. They see people, they see objects, they see opportunities to turn this into a really powerful experience and make that video work much, much harder. So what does interactive video typically get used for? It typically falls into one of three applications. The first is enriching content, so just providing audiences with more information, allowing them to lean forward, tap on something, and find out more information. Really simple. The second is for marketing, creating immersive, engaging marketing experiences. This is an interactive experience, an interactive color picker for Dulux paint. And the third and most popular use of the technology is actually shoppable, so actually just making the content so it's shoppable, so viewers can actually buy something that they see, and most of you will recognize this as the kind of shoppable video that kind of put it on the map. This one, widely publicized, that this video made $70,000 in the first week alone. So how do audiences respond? Well, pretty well. So 67% will interact at least once. So the vast majority of the audience will understand that they have to lean forward and do something. They'll do that 3 times on average each for every minute of content. And people typically spend 3.5 times longer with a Wirewax video than the same video in its conventional format. So what am I saying here? Well, I'm saying, not just that it works really well, but audiences are hungry for this stuff. They're ready to move forward for this stuff. Is interactive video being embraced by the broadcasters? Yes. So one of the things that we keep coming up against when we're having conversations with broadcasters and producers and the studios and everyone else is that they're all now trying to compete with Netflix, right? They want to offer something different, something competitive that's going to attract those viewers. But sad to say, Netflix is already ahead of everybody else, and I just want to show you this quickly. This is what they did last year.
You there! Hello? Yes, you. You are going to make choices, my friend.
Should puss fight them valiantly, or chit-chat with them over tea?
All you have to do is pick left or right. This was a very good choice.
And so that was obviously aimed at a younger audience, and that's a piece of technology that we call branching. So as a viewer, you get to decide whether you go left or you go right. You change the narrative. It's almost like democratized TV, we call it. So instead of the decisions about content being created by the few, presented to the many, it's you as an audience member, you're able to decide the outcome of the content. I just want to show you what HBO did also last year for an older audience with Steven Soderbergh.
A story that you navigate.
There he is, right there. What do you think?
A story that lets you go deeper.
Joel, hey, I want to come clean about some things.
To see the bigger picture. A story with multiple perspectives.
And what was interesting about this is that it isn't just sort of choose your own adventure kind of experience, that branching experience. They're actually using the entire real estate of the interactive device to pull in additional content to make this very immersive, very engaging experience. So what are we witnessing here? Well, with major broadcasters and studios starting to adopt this technology, we're starting to see this democratized content. We're starting to see audiences create a hunger for this type of thing, and for broadcasters desperate to search for ways that they can create these experiences. So that same growing appetite, that trend towards interactive video that we're seeing on the web is now being experienced on broadcast as well. And just like how cinemas had to innovate in the 1950s to compete with TV, now TV, like I said, has to compete with itself, Netflix being the one that everyone's chasing after. And broadcasters really have to change to those ever-changing viewer habits, where people are no longer watching movies just in the theater, they're no longer watching TV just at home. And so it's a way to utilize those technologies and do more with it. I just want to show you quickly what we did with the BBC a few years ago.
The BBC recently commissioned a brand new TV concept for younger audiences. This was not just a different production concept, but an entirely new viewing experience. Working with the indie Zodiac Kids Studios, they chose Wirewax to help develop a fully interactive sitcom whereby audiences would be expected to lean forward and participate in the show's enriched and non-linear viewing experience. Over the course of the 25 5-minute episodes, the viewer is invited to tap the show and uncover extra punchlines, character insights, and collect hidden Easter eggs. Writer and creator Anthony Q. Farrell worked closely with the Wirewax team to integrate the interactivity. It was not a bolt-on or afterthought. It was designed to complement and enhance the experience from its core. The result was a runaway success for Wirewax. More than 88% of the audience interacted. On average, they spent 4 times more time viewing the content than with non-interactive video. And their feedback spoke volumes. The highest accolade of all, however, came later that year when The Secret Life of Boys won the prestigious BAFTA Award for Best Interactive Original, followed by a Kidscreen Award for Best Web App Series. It is this strong appetite amongst audiences that is fueling other broadcasters to step forward and plan their interactive VOD strategies with Wirewax. With this perfect harmony of technology, experience, and creativity, the future for television has never looked so exciting.
We're actually on the 3rd season of that now, which is sort of testament to how successful that's been. But there are lots of complex challenges around this experience, not just technical, but about viewer experience. So when you're watching something online, you're watching a Ted Baker, shoppable Ted Baker video, for example, you don't mind those visual cues coming up because it's only a 2-minute video, right? Telling you that there's something that you can interact with. But if you're watching a 40-minute TV show or you're watching a 2-hour movie, this is going to get pretty irritating after a while. So, and those are really just signposts to tell you that something's interactive. So what's the solution to that? Why don't we just use all our computer vision, our machine learning tools to actually make everything in the content interactive, so you instinctively start to learn that you can tap at any point and learn something and get something in response. The idea being that you don't then have to have those visual cues and interrupting the experience. And so this is an idea that we pitched to Netflix a while ago, which is, this is before we knew Kevin Spacey being a naughty boy, by the way, so apologies. But the idea was that everything is interactive in here, and you can tap on this stuff. We thought this was great for House of Cards because he has those, you know, Frank Underwood pieces where he talks to camera, and we thought, how about shooting content especially for this type of experience? So actually having people, in this case, Kevin Spacey, Frank Underwood in character, telling you more about people that you're interacting with, so tapping on people and telling you who you are, and then telling you to bugger off because he's busy and he wants to get back to the show. It's a really nice way of thinking about that, sort of breaking down that fourth wall. Whenever we show people this, they always say, oh, this is great for Game of Thrones because no one knows what the hell is going on. And this is something we've been working on with ITV, which is a fully shoppable TV makeover show. So sponsored by the brand. The brand are actually dropping stuff into the show that you can actually tap on and buy. And the whole experience is embedded within the ITV Hub experience. So the e-commerce experience, the actual fulfillment process, the transactional process is actually built into the process as well. So we're working with some of the biggest OTT service providers in the world to enrich old content and new content as well, and enhance that viewer experience. And so how does this apply to you guys? Well, you know, from a marketing and advertising perspective, you know, the amount of content that's being consumed is going up, but obviously the amount of people that are advertising on TV is going down. And so how do broadcasters make money? How do advertisers reach audiences? And how do audiences experience content without having to watch interstitial, traditional, disruptive advertising? And so the best way to do that is to embed it within this interactive experience. And so these are just examples of what you can do. So, you know, if you want to find out about Prue, for example, on what's it called, the baking show? I don't watch it. I don't know what it's called. But about having display advertising, that's additional real estate that you can actually interact with and then have that additional advertising real estate within there. How about watching this twerp? And you can interact with anything that you see in there, and it comes up with additional content, but also sponsored, relative sponsored content that allows you to do more. And then I think I'm the first to mention it, but Love Island is on everyone's minds today, I know that. But what about it being a shopping experience? This is something that particularly ITV are particularly excited about. I'm just going to leave you now with just some other concepts that we've been working on with interactive video and interactive TV and film.
It's been a long time.
So in Mark, listen to the bureau that.